Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We're going to the top, to the top, to the top, baby. We're going to bring others with us. So let's get it cracking, and let's get it started. Let's talk about The Chi season 2 episode 3. It's going down. Ronnie done got himself out of jail. He's fresh out of jail, out on bail. He ain't got a place to go, but we'll see if he revenges at those beating, because it might be because of him. And then on top of that, Brandon just be going through the most. Poor Brandon and Kevin just don't know what to do. Everybody around him is suffering, going through some things, and he's trying to be a stand-up kid and testify, and his parents told him no because Ronnie's attorney, scared them. I was just like, Brandon be going through the most. I mean, his mother done disappeared. She's in Delaware somewhere, just living her best life, or basically in depression and probably drinking her sorrows away. And she ain't there to find out what's going on with her son's trial. And we got Detective Cruz. He's out here acting like a madman. He's going crazy because basically it's supposed to be a dunk. Like, Ronnie was supposed to be locked up and that's it. But OMG, they found so much wrong with Detective Cruz information and his evidence that boom, the case just got thrown out. I was just like, whoa. And we see that Emmett, is running, Sonny's shop, and then on top of that, he's back with his baby's mother, or he just slept with his child's mother. So we'll see what happens with that situation. I'm just like, yo, it's going down, so let's get it cracking. So let's start off with Ronnie. Let's start with Ronnie, Tracy, and Jason. So we see how close Ronnie was to Jason, and he loved Jason and Tracy. That was his life. That was his everything. That was his all. We also find out that Ronnie was also helping, Jason train for basketball out there in the street. Grandma Ethel knew about Jason from the longest, but since Ronnie couldn't, recover from his demons and everything that went on when he was serving in the military and having vertigo and just having all types of stuff going on in his brain, that once he got turned down from the police department, he didn't want to look for a job, ended up getting disability. He was lying to Tracy, and Tracy ended up finding Q. So that's how Q got in the building, because Q came with the money. Q had the money, he had the connections, and he helped Tracy out too as well. But we don't know who Jason's father really is. We got two men dedicated to a child that ain't theirs. What I'm saying, go ahead, Tracy, you got them. So, but Ronnie was going through a lot of psychological issues, and you could tell that Ronnie is trapped in his own brain. And then his grandma Ethel actually spoiling him a lot and just looking at him as this wonderful, grandson. Maybe she should have just been looking at him as, being alcoholic, and he needs some help, because Ronnie does need some help. But now Ronnie's out, fresh out of jail. And then we got Detective Cruz basically with his boss talking about the toxicology came back from Ronnie's test, and he was on barbiturates, he was on all types of drugs, and then his alcohol point level was 2 times the legal limit. So therefore, this confession look like it's coerced. Like, this confession ain't good, so the confession's probably going to be thrown out, because Ronnie got a beast of an attorney, because he got the attorney that the Aryan Nation has. I was like, Detective Cruz is feeling himself, but Detective Cruz is going to go crazy. He's going to do some foul shit to get Ronnie back in jail, and he's going to break the law. We already know he's good for breaking the law. And then on top of that, we have, Brandon basically having a hard time. He can't find parking to put his food truck. Like, damn, Brandon been going through the most. Like, he had to do 3 times, he has to work 100 times harder than anybody just to see a penny or a drop. He just always has misfortune after misfortune, baby. But he named the truck Coogie. He basically is trying to find somewhere to park, but he doesn't have a permit. I don't know if he got insurance yet on the truck, because he can't afford it, because he got college tuition, trying to pay bills, back bills, and a whole 9 yards. And it's just like, and that was nice of him to actually go to his best friend's funeral last episode and cater the party without getting paid. So we have that situation. So Brandon pulls up in front of Sonny's shop or whatever, and basically try to stay out there and sell food. So Emmett goes out there, was like, I know this dude. And so they was about to go in, and Brandon, you never seen Brandon like get out of character lately, but he was about to go off. And then once Emmett said like, yo, I ain't about to fight you over this spot or whatever, Brandon is desperate. So Brandon just packs up and he leaves, and he moves forward, and then boom, Sonny has a stroke. Like, oh, okay, we knew Emmett needed a job. We knew Emmett needed some money, because basically if he don't come in with these child support payments, he's going to go to jail. He ain't going to continue living with his father, because there's too many people to have on camera. So basically, it seems like the writing is getting a little bit lazy. So Sonny has a attack, basically a stroke or heart attack, but Emmett is able to save his life and do the right things to actually make sure he secure his future living on the earth with us, because his mom is a nurse. So now we already knew once Sonny went down that Emmett was going to, run the shop. But Emmett can run the shop, but he's not doing a good job. He sucks. And basically, if he was selling sneakers like he was selling sneakers, and the hair weave business he's getting, all the other stuff, he can actually really do a good job, but he's not dedicated to the chicken. And he don't understand the importance of it until he get locked up. Sonny told him he need a man that don't take care of his kid ain't a man. So, Emmett is starting to realize that, but Emmett is starting to change slowly. But right now, while he's running this restaurant, he's doing a poor ass job, very poor job. I'm like, come on, Ronnie. I mean, come on, Emmett. This is your chance. This is your get out of jail free card. Basically to start over and basically probably start your own business. But he's into selling sneakers and stuff like that. So then we get to the courthouse. Kevin's supposed to testify against Ronnie, but basically Ronnie's lawyer, she is vicious. She sends the Caucasian dude that's next to her to go talk to Kevin's parents and say, witness protection. I'm from social services, and this is the dangers that your child is in. So I don't know what you want to do. So they scared Kevin's parents so much that Kevin's two mothers end up, just basically leaving the courthouse, and Kevin wasn't able to testify, and Kevin wanted to testify too as well, but his parents got scared. Kevin wasn't shook. He done shot Ronnie. He's good with the business. And so then we get Brandon. Brandon goes home to his house that his name is still on a deed. His stepfather's there. His mother's MIA. And his stepfather was like, "What you got? How's your credit score?" Because stepfather was going through his mail. Ronnie was like, "Why are you going through my mail?" and all this other stuff. And so stepfather is not moving down there with Laverne, which is, Brandon's mother. He's not moving down there to Delaware. He was going to go to Tennessee, but not to Delaware. And basically, he's going to try to get his life together, fix up the house. And Brandon was like, this house is still mine. And so he's going to, find a new job, spend time with his daughter. So Brandon's going through the most. And then that's when Detective Cruz shows up at the door and basically wants, Brandon's mother to write a victim statement, impact statement. She's nowhere to be around. She has abandoned her family, and she's gone because she can't deal with the hurt and the pain, and plus she's on the bottle too as well. Once you realize the bottle doesn't solve anything, it just makes shit worse. So Brandon is telling Detective Cruz to do his job, do what you're supposed to do, man. You got a confession, you got all this, and you haven't put him behind, it's not gonna stick. And so now Brandon is thinking about writing the victim statement. He does actually write the statement. Then we got Kevin, we got Papa. They're at school, they're selling candy bars. Papa want a TV, and basically Kevin breaks down and do the math and says you're better off buying your own TV because it don't make no sense selling all these candy bars is a scam. And the teacher hears this and tells Kevin, you know what, you're gonna sell candy bars now since you're so good at math, and stop teaching and stop telling the other students that this ain't no good just because your parents can afford to go to an aquarium and all that other stuff, or go to an amusement park, and you got the the means to do that. These kids don't. So don't be going around shitting on my activities and pointing out that the school ain't shit. So we have that situation. And so now Kevin is upset because he don't want to sell no damn candy bars. And Kevin's been going through a lot too. He got a good foundation. So does Papa. Papa stay in church, baby. And so moving on from that, so we get, Sonny's daughter. She comes through, and basically she's going to close down the restaurant, but Emmett convinced her to keep the restaurant open. He can do it. He can run it, but he could do it, but he's not putting his all to it. He's just being lazy right now. So hopefully, Emmett gets on the ball and do what he's supposed to do, but right now he's a shit ass manager. And then this is Kevin returns the bike, Coogie's bike, back to Maisha, and Maisha, whatever her name is, she left the bike over there so Kevin can pick it up. And so he returns the bike to her because he don't want to owe her nothing. He don't know what kind of crime she committed. He don't know what's going on in the situation. So he returns the bike, and then she goes, you know what? I'll tell the teachers that you stole that volcano for your science project and bring me my homework. And it's sad that Maisha can't even go to school no more because she's home babysitting. I thought one of them kids was hers, but And so, like, this is her life. She got to stay in the house, in the projects, and watch kids and be a mama to kids that ain't her kids, which are her brothers and sisters, because her mother and her father ain't shit. But at least the mom's working. I hope the mom's working. I hope she's not out here, you know, on a stroll or whatever. But it's a sad situation for Maisha, and she's just looking for friends, and she don't have friends. And that's why she's a bully, because, you know, she doesn't have the socialization skills, because basically she's an adult at home, and she just want attention. She don't get no attention because her mother is working. The father ain't nowhere to be around, and she has to take care of her brothers and sisters. Like, this shit was sad, baby. And so then we get to, you know, Ethel. She's in the hospital, and then Detective Toussaint, she comes through basically and asks Ethel some questions. Ethel was like, I don't know any other gang members that you showing me, but I can definitely identify the guy that robbed me. And then she said there was this white lady coming around asking, you know, for people to move and stuff like that. So the detective has a hunch. She thinks that the people that are trying to, no, she don't get it from Ethel, but she finds out later on. But so now they're discovering that it might be a scheme, you know, to get people out of their community where Ethel lives at, so they can gentrify the neighborhood and change it around. And so Ethel wasn't trying to sell, and she wasn't trying to move, or she wasn't trying to bounce, because she was supposed to be getting evicted. So Detective Toussaint's on the case, baby. And so we get a scene from Ronnie when he's with Jason, when Jason's little, and Jason's, you know, playing basketball, and he was very protective of, you know, Jason. And then one of the neighbors across the street tried to attack Jason, and then Ronnie just goes crazy, goes berserk, and then he loses it. He you know, he pushed Jason, he squeezed his arm, turned his wrist, and that's not his father. And Jason's like, you ain't my father. So Ronnie was having a hard time with alcoholism, and he thought Jason and Tracy was going to save him from his demons, but it just added on to it, because he couldn't satisfy them, because he couldn't satisfy himself. So the shit's just terrible. And so we got Brandon. Brandon got a gig over here working at the Pimp Bar. I mean, them pimps was up in there, baby. He came up there with his food truck. But before then, Brandon realized that there's a contest that he can possibly enter, you know, and the best of Chicago Southside cooking, and you can win some money, get your name put on the map. But Brandon doesn't believe in himself, because Brandon be going through so much that it's just so hard for him to just see any good in life. But he still does see something good in life, because he got his truck back. He's still working. He's still trying to conquer his dream. So he's thinking he's thinking he ain't gonna get in the contest, but he is. So we got this situation. You meet up with the pimp. It's $1,500. Brandon's burner break on his truck. It's like, this kid just have the worst luck as hell. And so it's $1,500. And so the guy gives, you know, the pimp gives, you know, Brandon a bag of weed to sell. I was like, Brandon, please don't sell no weed, because you already got the cops looking at you and shit like that. Please don't sell no weed, baby. So he ain't selling no weed. So good for that. He gives it to his cousin. He takes the money. But it's just like, damn, every time you turn around, something's going on with Brandon. I'm just like, damn, Brandon. And so then we get Detective Toussaint. She's searching the streets. She's going high and low, trying to find out who attacked Ethel. And it's really courageous of her to do that too as well. But she's not getting anywhere. But Ethel's neighbor lets her know that there's a white woman going around trying to get people to sell and move. And she's been given stipends and payments for people to move, because Detective Toussaint noticed that there's a lot of for sale signs. What's going on? Everybody's leaving. And so the neighbor was like, the neighborhood's going bad. Ethel got beat. Blase in the third. So we'll see what happens with this situation. We'll see. And so we get Brandon. He lets his cousin know that he made some money. He got this good weed. His cousin was like, yeah, this is some good shit or whatever. His cousin was like, I can make $800 for it, and I'm gonna keep it, because don't you owe me for the truck? Then Brandon was like, yo, I thought I was gonna be able to pay some of my student loans. Blase in the third. And the whole night. Then come to find out, Brandon tells his cousin about the contest, and Brandon tells his cousin that he's qualified for the contest because, you know, he has student loans that he needs to owe, and Blase in the third. And Brandon's not feeling good about himself, but his cousin talks him into, you know what, you can do it. You know, you're at Johnson, go down there and beg them people to let you win the contest. You got a mouthpiece on you. Just don't give up. And Brandon feeling more confident, and that's what he does. His cousin did not share the weed with him. I guess it was good for 420 was, you know, yesterday. And so we get Kevin. He goes to Maisha's house, and he's bringing her he's bringing her homework and everything. And then the saddest thing about, you find out that she's over here raising the kids. She's really a sweet person, a nice girl, but she just bullies for attention and just try to make people feel bad, because she feels bad, and she doesn't have a life, because she can't go out. She can't go to after school programs and do things like that or hang out, because she's busy being a second mom at home. And so Kevin is noticing like how poor she is and what she's going going through, and he feels really bad for her. He comes inside because she got some, muffins for Kevin and Papa, whatever. So they have the conversation. She was like, are you gonna come by tomorrow? So you can see that they're actually building their friendship, and she just really want a friend. If anything, she just wants some attention. She just want to be noticed. Poor thing. I think that's the saddest shit in the world. And then we have the situation with with Kevin. He meets up with Brandon, and Brandon, basically they're talking and they're shooting the shit or whatever, and they talk about Ronnie getting out and possibly him getting out. And then Kevin said, I really want to testify, but I didn't because of my parents, blah, and the third. And Brandon understands he's not holding nothing against Kevin, and Brandon writes an impact statement. And it's a nice statement that he does write. It's wonderful. It's actually great. But Ronnie's already out of jail, so he don't even need to write the impact statement. Ronnie's out. Ronnie had the right attorney. I guess the Aryan Nation, they put money in each other and they run this shit, You got to do the same thing to get your brothers and sisters out of jail. He's out. And it was so funny when the attorney said that, when Ronnie was like, oh, I'm glad you believe in me. And Ronnie's attorney was like, I don't believe in you. I don't want to defend killers and murderers, and I don't want to defend the Aryan Nation, but I just want to make partners. So just for her satisfaction to make partner and to have her dreams, where she got to crush other people's dreams and hurt them by putting Aryan Nation and white supremacy and people that kill children out on the street because she has a dream and she's gonna get to her dream no matter what. And that's how people are in real life. So we get to Emmett, the restaurant's running shitty. They're burning food. They ain't got nothing but chicken on the menu. They ain't got no biscuits, no buskets, no nothing, no greens, no macaroni and cheese, just motherfucking chicken on the menu. So we have that situation. His baby mother comes through and she was like, I need some money, bring our baby to the dentist. And he was like, I already paid child support. She was like, well, that ain't enough. And then Emmett was like, I haven't brought sneakers in 3 weeks. I was like, yeah, Emmett buys really expensive sneakers. That's why his father stole one of his pairs of sneakers. So we have that situation. And so he's not going to give her no money. They're like, F you, blase and a third. And then Ronnie's about to get released, and the Detective Q's come through and tries to beat the shit out of Ronnie. It's like, it's too late for that. You should have did a better job, Detective Cruz. But I know you had crooked cops and a crooked partner, but you should have did better. You thought it was easy that you can just put Ronnie behind bars. He's a drunk. He's an alcoholic. He used to be your CI. It's a slam dunk. But you didn't think all the complications. You didn't think Ronnie had the defense. He didn't have the means. And if Ronnie didn't hook up with the Aryan Nation, he'll still be locked up. Detective Cruz should have did a better job. He thought it was going to be a slam dunk. And so now we got Kevin, and we have, Papa on the corner selling, candy bars. I would never let my kids be on the corner selling candy bars in Chicago, and no hood, no ghetto, nowhere where bullets fly. Why are they out here selling? Then we got Papa. He's on a fast. It's like Papa is the oldest adult kid I know. But that keeps him out of trouble, and that keeps him insane, from all the other shit. We know Papa get the Holy Ghost. Papa said, I'm on my last day fast, And so Kevin was like, you on your last day fast? What does that mean? That means, a couple of hours left. And Kevin was like, let's go to the church and sell these candy bars because we got to get $23.50, $23.74. So they get to the church. They got the Obama fan. They inside the church. They set up and they selling the candy bars. Instead of for $1, they're selling them two for $1. So basically they're making some extra money on the bullshit. I'm telling you, Kevin, Papa, and Jake are smart, and they're all smart in their own little individual areas. So that's cool. I like that. I thought that was cute. And it was like, and when Papa was like, my father's long-winded, I was like, I know what you mean, long-winded pastor. And so then we got a flashback between Ronnie and Tracy, and basically Tracy is breaking up with Ronnie because he's lying, saying he's gonna go get a job, he's gonna do something with his life, he's gonna support her, and basically he ain't, because he's caught up in the bottle and he's hearing voices and he thinks too much and he's trapped in his mind. So he loses Tracy, and then that begins his real downfall. And then we have none other than Emmett goes to see his baby's mother, to give her the money because he feels guilty because he's supposed to be a father to his child. We learned that that he denied EJ for the first year of his life, and now he's all so concerned. So he goes there, baby mother invites him in, and they end up doing a nasty. They end up knocking boots all night long, child. They're gonna both regret the situation. They gonna both regret it, but maybe they can work it out and get back together. Now we got Ronnie, and thank God Kevin's little sister, Kevin's older sister is not dealing with Emmett, because Emmett ain't no good. He needs to get his shit together and take care of his kids and figure out whether he want to be with his baby mother or not. But when they're young and the kids are still really small, it's hard for people to decide whether they still want to be with their partner or not. So we got Ronnie. He's getting out of jail, fresh out of bail, walking the streets, and he's in his head. He's in his mind. And so then we get, Brandon. Brandon goes to see the teacher at his former school, basically tells him that he want to enter this contest. He want to enter this program. So basically, so he could be the taste of food. And he's begging, he's trying his best to get, the school to actually let him consent to be a part of this contest. And the school actually consented, and he's going to be a part of the contest. So it is what it is. I was just like, damn, so he did it. He won. And so now he's going to enter the contest. But, it's going to be trials and tribulation for, Ronnie in this contest. But it was a good episode. The writing is kind of slow. I don't know where they're trying to lead us, but they do let us know about, they said Q is dead. They said Trice is dead too as well. We know Trice is dead for sure. But I just can't remember how Q got killed. Then they're talking about there's a bigger boss, because now Detective Toussaint, she wants to get to know about the gang members and everything like that. And, she's questioning Detective Cruz about the situation. So maybe they're possibly going to go after, Reggie's leader. But I know Reggie's going to be more, participate more in the episodes, because he was on, the Breakfast Club, and he said he will. Peace. I'm out. One love to my peeps and my people. So what do you guys think about Ronnie getting out of jail? That's some bullshit. This is TV, because there's no way he would have got out of jail. No matter if he was drunk, that kid would have testified. They would have hid the evidence. So peace. I'm out. One love to all my peeps and my peoples.